Hi, everyone. I'm Cathy from the IntimacyDojo.com, here with Betty Martin from BettyMartin.org, and we're going to be talking about allowing now. Betty, why is that important? Why do we need to talk about this?
Oh, because it is so fun. That's why.
I love talking about fun things.
So, this is in the context, we've talked about giving, in which I'm touching you for you.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about taking, in which I'm touching you for me, the way I want to.
Yes.
We've talked about receiving, which is you're touching me the way I want, like giving me a massage or something, and I'm receiving that. So now we're talking about allowing. And if you have asked to touch me in a way that you want, say you've said, Betty, can I play with your hair? Betty, can I feel you up? Betty, can I, hold you this way? Betty, can I bite your ear? Then I have a choice. I can say yes, I can say no, I can say yes and set a limit, which is actually what you need to do. So the act of allowing is a gift to you.
Yes.
It's like saying, here's my body, honey. It's your play. It's your playground.
That's really sexy when you say it that way. It's like, oh, wow.
Yeah, it's very fun. And what I need to remember as if I'm in that allowing role is that I get to choose what my limits are. And in fact, I have to choose what my limits are, or I cannot relax. It won't be any fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? So if I say,
yes, biting ears, if I was going to bite them off, I'm not going to be relaxed.
Yeah. Or if somebody, as often edit that out. Let me back up. So the thing that's important for me, if I'm going to be the allowing person, is I have to choose what my limits are. What am I happy to give you of me, and what am I not willing to give you? And when I'm clear about that, this is true of giving any kind of gift. When I'm clear about that, then I can relax. I become very generous because I'm not worried about you sneaking over into some territory that I don't want to,
And
so if I say
better to the person receiving when it's a willing gift, when everybody's aligned with it.
Absolutely. So if you say, Betty, can I feel you up? And I say, yes, anywhere except my butt. Or, yes, you can feel it this arm, but not this arm. Or, yes, from the waist up, help yourself. Then I don't have to worry about, oh, gosh, is she going to go this place? Oh, gosh, is she going to go that place? And then I'm tense, and I'm like, I got my little guardians up with their spears on the perimeter, right?
Yeah.
But if I have already told you what I'm not willing to give, and assuming that you are abiding by that, then I can relax, and then it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Like you said, a playground.
It's a playground, yeah. And so when I'm in the allowing mode, how I would prefer you to touch me it's not really applicable here. But what I'm willing to give you and not give you is very applicable and very, very important.
That's a great distinction.
Yeah.
And, it wouldn't be relaxing just to say you can do whatever you want and not know what they're going to do.
Yeah. And many of us don't know what our limits are sometimes until we hit them.
Yes, that's true.
And, I've had many people come into my studio and say, well, I don't have any limits. I say, oh, yeah? Well, let me get out the knives and the chains, and then we'll see if you have limits. Oh, no, don't do that. I said, well, you do have limits then, don't you? Yes, you do. We just haven't hit them yet. That's why you don't think you have any. But we can hit them. I know how to hit them. So part of that is just having some experience with you and your sweetie of, some of it you may know already. And it'll change by the day. It may change by the hour. That's perfect.
Well, and depending on how aroused I am, I like more intense touch. It changes,
Yeah, absolutely.
So if someone has trouble allowing, besides setting clear boundaries, are there other ways to help people? Because like I know when I first started being sexual again, because of all my past experiences with abuse, it was very hard for me to allow. It was much easier
Absolutely.
for me to be the active doer than just
Yeah.
to receive something.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, that's a great question, because all of us, as children, have been touched in ways that we didn't. Oops.
Yay. Okay, we're back.
You'll have some editing to do.
Yeah.
So
keep me out of trouble.
yeah, that's a great question, because all of us as children have been touched in ways that we did not want, without exception, even in the best of circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
So those people who've been abused, it's even more so. It's the same dynamic, it's just more of it.
Yeah.
So it's easy to have the tendency to just go along with whatever is done to you, and you just sort of freeze up and, oh, well, it's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So how do you work around that? How do you start then to learn to enjoy it? And the key is that you have to have experiences that make it clear to you that you get to choose what happens to you.
So take baby
and you
steps.
can't do it. Yeah, you can't do it by thinking about it. You have to do it by experiencing it. You have to know it all the way into your bones, that you have a choice about what happens to you.
Yeah, it's so much somatic. I talked there. I didn't talk therapy for years, and that my body was still afraid.
Absolutely, absolutely. Your body needs to find out that, oh, I do have a choice here.
Yeah.
And the main way to do that is to, if you're playing with your partner or you're working with somebody who's kind of like your fellow, you're supporting each other and learning together, for example. I would say, well, it just depends on the situation. Yeah. Ordinarily, I would say, Cathy, you go ahead. I would say, okay, here, I'm your toy. How would you like to touch me?
Uh-huh.
And you'd say, well, I'd like to blah, blah, blah. And I'd pause for a minute. Is that a gift that I can give with a full heart?
Oh, that's beautiful.
And if it's then that's a no.
Yeah. Or
I might set a limit and say, yes, you can, but only up to here.
Yeah.
Or yes, you can, but only with my shirt on, for example. So,
yeah.
And people who are really struggling with it, you need to have even more control. So you need to be able to say something like this. You may touch me right here on this finger for 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And
then have them stop.
Then I have them stop.
Yeah.
You may touch me on these two fingers for 30 seconds. And do it, and then have them stop. And then come back and do another day, so that you are absolutely in control of what happens to you.
Yeah.
And, we could talk for days on those kinds of approaches, but
that's a great place for people to start.
I think that's the place to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way you find out that you have a choice about what happens to you is that you must slow down. It's very, very difficult when you're in the heat of passion to suddenly realize you've crossed the limit, but you don't know what to do because you just can't talk at that point.
Yeah.
So that's why it's really, really helpful to play this not in the bedroom and with your clothes on.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. If you don't have choice and you don't feel like you're in control, you can't allow. You're not allowing. It's just you're being swept away.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Betty. I really appreciate you sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Please leave comments below. Let us know what you think. What did this bring up for you? And have you tried it? Thanks very much.